Welcome back to Chocolate and Spice Two Brown Women Talk. I'm Neha.
Hey, I'm Nidhi. Today we are talking about a part of our lives we don't always give enough credit to. What we do outside of work and beyond the never ending to do list of home and family.
Whether it's planning something in the garden, dancing at a jazz club, getting lost in new languages, or just going on a date with your person, these are the moments where we often find joy, creativity, healing, and peace.
So today we are getting personal. How do we recharge? What lights us up? What makes us feel most like ourselves?
And we hope it gets you thinking too about the little things that fill your cup. Because hustle is important, but so is heart.
All right, Dee, let's get started. I have a first question for you. What are your current go to self care rituals and how have those evolved over time?
So I wanted to answer this question by first defining what self-care means for me because it has evolved over time. So in the past, self-care was as much about getting validation and pleasing others as much as it was for myself. And it has since evolved into really being about what I feel best about and what gives me the most happiness. So as an example, like right now I do love to like decorate my house or think about colors and stuff. In the past, I would do it, but I would think about what others would say if they would see it, which is defeating the purpose of self care, especially if that is what I really like to do. So now I have switched that flipped that switch, and that's how I approach my self care. So that's the evolution of my definition of self care. But also, if you're asking what I really like to do in terms of self care now, my one thing that I've started recently is having a cup of coffee or a cup of hibiscus tea or something with a cookie at my cafe corner. You've seen my cafe corner in my house, or if I'm outside then in a cafe, and that's like a 15 minutes time that I just dedicate to myself. I sit down, I sip my coffee, and I don't use phone or try not to open my laptop or anything, just sit with myself. And if I have my husband with me, then I would really like to chat with him at that time. So I sometimes just pull him, I'm like, sit with me for 15 minutes, and that's my favorite self-care routine every single day.
Yeah.
How about you?
And I love your cafe corner, by the way. I've seen it, and I've seen you thoroughly enjoy your coffee and your snack there. So that's beautiful that you've created that space in the house that you call like a self-care corner. So that's amazing. Yeah, and for me, my self-care routine has certainly evolved over time. Before I had Vikram, my son, it was a lot of cocktail hours with my friends and going out, just shopping and doing Orange Theory Fitness, which is extreme workout class, going for random hikes. But now that I have a young kid, I have to be very intentional of how I spend my time. So I don't drink that often anymore. So all of my outing with my friends have changed into brunch with tea, which I truly enjoy that now. And then I try to sneak in self-care throughout the month. For example, every month I either try to go for a massage or a facial. I try to sneak in a pedicure, manicure. So it is not just the act of like getting a massage or facial. It's like dedicating that 1 hour to yourself away where you kind of reset your mind and don't have to think about anything else. So that really helps. One other thing that I truly enjoy, just like your coffee in the morning, I like to have my tea. And after Vikram goes to school, that is like before I start my work, I spend 15 minutes just drinking my tea and doing nothing. And that is such a good way for me to start the day and start the day with the self-care. So that truly helps.
That's amazing. And I also love the fact that you incorporate fitness routine as part of your self-care because I've seen it and I often used to wonder why you would exercise every single day, and then it occurred to me like that's your way to unwind and just dedicate to yourself.
Tell you the truth, I didn't even say about that because I even forgot it's a self-care because it has become such a big part of my routine. But when you think of it, it is it's a critical part of my self-care because that is my me time. When even if it's like 15 minutes yoga or a 45-minute strength workout, that is my time dedicated to my wellness and fitness. That is like non-negotiable for me. So yes, that's one of the biggest self-care ritual I have that works for me so well.
Yeah, I totally appreciate it. Just moving on to the next question, what's something small that brings you big joy?
I don't know if I have told you about this. Couple of years back, I started doing a 5-minute gratitude journal. So what I do is I wake up, that journal, something like this, is right beside my bed. I wake up and the first thing I do is I kind of say, what am I grateful for? And what would make today really good? And one word of affirmation. It really helps you remove the negativity in the morning. Like when you start your day saying, what are you grateful for? It's like, oh my God, you have to start your day with gratefulness. And then end of the day, again, there are two more questions. So that's why it's called a 5 minute, because you don't want to spend more than 5 minutes. And the end of the day, I say something like, what was one thing that I learned today, and my highs and lows. And that's it. They're like 5 questions in one page, and you spend not more than 5 minutes, but it kind of helps you do a retrospective of the day. And it is great. It is fine for good days. Good days are good days, but it is really helpful for stressful and not so good days. It's like when you feel the world is not in a great place, and maybe your work is not going very well, or something is not right. On those bad days, you are forced to think about, what is one thing you learned? Sometimes I literally sit with it, and certainly goes more than 5 minutes, like, did I learn nothing today? That is impossible. And then sometimes, I go back to my journal and I see highs and low and something. And then sometimes I see, what am I grateful for? I've never really written my husband's name in a couple of weeks, even though I'm grateful for him every single day. But like, it is the intention. It's like once you put that intentionality out there, it really changes your mindset. So yeah, that's one small thing that I've started doing every single day that has brought me so much joy.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I love you say that. I love that you say that, because I had started doing that maybe 2 or 3 years back, and I want to share that it was life-changing for me. So the way I would approach it is exactly like you. I didn't call it a gratitude journal. I just thought, I was going through things in my life and I wanted to empower myself. So it was more an empowerment journal where I would every single day use my pencil and my notebook, and I would literally write down what I was feeling that day. It was just that, like, no questions asked. What was I feeling that day? What's the thought of the day?
Yeah.
And I would write pages after pages, and I don't think I did it for long, because it was actually a lot of work. So I probably did it for a few weeks, but it really helped me understand myself. It was a great self-reflection methodology. Yeah. It was a great self-care, and it helped me grow a lot. So I did that for a while, and I feel like I can still go back to the journal and learn so much. So I appreciate you think about it as well.
Do you have any such things, small
right
things?
Now? Yeah. Right now, I actually, it's interesting you mentioned about gratitude. The way I start my day, and I like to start my days, when I'm on my bed and the alarm rings, or hopefully I wake up by myself with that alarm, I just think to myself, I am so grateful. Like, usually, hopefully, like, that's when I wake up and I'm like, I am so thankful to universe for this day. And there's this song that, it's funny, I won't mention that song, but there's this song that we used to learn as a kid, like, thank you God for things you've been given. And I just remember that song, and I sing that song to myself. I don't know why I do that, but it makes me feel happy, and then I'm able to wake up more happy. So that's something very fun that I do. And I already mentioned my coffee corner, and that's another little thing. And there are other little things as well. Like, recently I have started to force myself into really dressing up for myself. And whether I am going out or going out to work or not going out, every single day I spend some time to figure out what I want to wear and how I want to look. And that's just for myself. When I look at myself in the mirror, I wanna see a certain self, and that's how I dress up. And that's self-care routine.
And that is why, if you guys follow us on Instagram, you might see our daily fit check. It is a part of like putting it out there too. Like, grooming is important, and setting intention. We have talked about sustainability. We have talked about like how feeling good. It's more about dressing up for somebody else, but like the confidence comes from within. So I'm glad we started doing that. So if you enjoy that, go to our Instagram and check our stories out.
Yeah.
I have another question for you. How do you set boundaries to make space for yourself?
It's a great question. I'm definitely lucky that way, because especially as moms, we know when the kids are younger, you don't get a lot of time. So I will say I'm very lucky right now, in the sense that I have the luxury of time. My son is in college, and my work starts at a certain hour, so I have periods of hours that are really for myself. And my husband is very cooperative as well. So sometimes when I'm tired and I don't want to cook, he's going to just cook. And most of the days, actually, he cooks, to give credit where it's due. So I do get a lot of time for myself. And so there's not a lot of boundary setting required that way. But I do ensure, because sometimes, you forget that, yeah, I wanted to get up and dress for myself. You forget, and then you go back to the old habit. So those boundaries are more for me. It's like, don't forget you enjoy this. Don't forget that gifts keeps you inspired. So do it. And so I do it. And there are certain things that I want to do and then I forget to do. For example, every morning I think to myself, oh, I'm going to go out and be in my garden and maybe look at my flowers. And half the time, in the rush, I forget. So that's something I'm intentionally trying to do. So for example, I'm forcing myself to wake up earlier and earlier in the day, so I get that time to be able to do that. So it's really self-regulated rather than forcing boundaries on somebody else at this point.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But my perspective is a little bit different. Setting boundaries for me is saying no to a lot of events, whether it's like a potluck in the neighborhood, or outing with a friend, or a work outing like a after hour happy hour. I just don't have the bandwidth for it. So I protect my time and I say no. And we've talked about it in a people pleasing episode. Like, I would say I am comfortable saying no. So it's not a big deal if I say no. And even recently, there was my husband's work event where he wanted me to come and I just couldn't make time for it. And thankfully, we have the kind of understanding where he's not offended if I say no to a work event. So yeah, I mean, apart from setting boundaries, I think I also make it very intentional. For example, I put my self-care routine or self-care things that I'm going to do in the month on the calendar to my husband, so that he's aware of things that I'm be taking care of throughout the month, so that he knows that he has to watch Vikram and he is home. So it is like, apart from setting boundaries, you also do it with intention. That is, you put it down in pen and paper so that you have that planned and you know what's coming next. So I'm a planner by nature that way. So it really helps me visualize, all right, this is what I'm doing. This day is my facial, this day is my massage, this day is my outing. It's on the calendar and you can't skip it. So that helps.
It's a great lesson to learn. It's a great lesson to learn because then you also have something to look forward to, right?
I know.
Because it's on your calendar and you're like, okay, today's not a great day, but guess what? In 2 days later, I'm going to get a massage.
I totally agree. That really helps. That really helps to see that there's something coming. Like we have one of our trip coming, and just to see that even if some of the days are hard, but very soon we have a family trip coming, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so looking forward to it. So it helps me visualize. Yeah.
I'm more of a go with the flow kind of person, which sometimes like backfires in cases like these, because then I do not know what I can look forward to. So I'm probably going to try and incorporate some of these ideas in my life. Nice. Okay, so I have a question. What's something you have learned or want to learn?
So every summer, I try to do some kind of activity with Vikram, and I started this like 3 months back. Like 3 months back, it was more like helping him learn how to bike. And I know it is something I did for my kid, but it was a very good bonding experience for both of us. So we started with like the balance bike, and then we practiced, and then we went to the real pedals. And last month we started reading. So he was 4 years old, and I started helping him how to read. So I actually took a course to how to teach kids how to read, because I'm not a teacher. I don't understand that phonics. Like it's hard to do, like A is like ah, not it's that's how they learn.
Right.
So I actually invested in a course, and I learned how to teach toddlers how to read, and I did that with him, and that was such a good learning experience for me too. How the history of the words come from, and how do you pronounce it correctly. So that really helped. And this year I'm learning Spanish with my son, so that's really cool. I got the premium subscription of Duolingo. It was worth every penny. And now every day we spend 15 to 20 minutes learning new words in Spanish, and it is it's a humbling experience because he's doing so much better than me. So but yeah, these are the things that I try to, again, it goes back to intention. I set an intention every summer. I have to do something big and learn something new and kind of involve a family member in it. So yeah.
Amazing. And again, this goes with the idea of you go structured, I go with the flow, because
Yeah.
I did it with my son when he was younger as well. And for reference, my son is in college now, but when he was younger, I remember like we took him to swimming classes, and I didn't know swimming, and so I forced myself to also learn swimming to be able to,
Yeah.
learn with him and be with him when he's swimming. Then he started taking piano lessons, and to sort of encourage him to practice piano, I started practicing piano. So I learned how to play piano with him.
You're very good at it, by the way.
Well, I was. Then I stopped practicing when he stopped practicing. Once he was out of high school, he stopped practicing, and so it's gone. But yes, the point being that you're so right. Like our kids often get us to be more into new hobbies or learn new things, and we continue with that. And I'll tell you, now that he's mostly like in college, I don't look forward to learning anything. I cannot think of this one thing that I would have wanted to do for myself, which is a pity, because there's so many things to do in life. So I got my answer for you. I'll have to think.
Okay, all right, never issues. I got another good one for you. So, what activity makes you lose track of time in the best way?
Oh, yeah. So I have to caveat my answer by saying I'm a serial hobbyist, which means I have so many things that I like to do, and short attention span for each. So I'll do something for a stretch of time, then I'll be like, okay, done this. I will start something else, and so on and so forth. So I will never have expertise in anything, but I enjoy my moments when I'm doing that thing, and I'm perfectly okay with
You
it.
are too self-critical. Like, let's just say that you learn things pretty quickly, so you move on to the new thing.
Let's say let's make ourselves happy. But yeah, so the reason I mention all of this is because there are quite a few things that make me lose track of time, because I really love them. One thing that I'll mention, because it's fresh off my mind, is what we call interior decoration, but essentially for me it's like making sure my house looks the way I want it to look. And I can do that endlessly. Like sometimes I'll start at 9 p.m. at night, because God knows why would I not do it earlier in the evening, but that's when I start rearranging my chair. And I could go on doing that for an hour or two, just rearranging the chair around. And sometimes I'll do the same thing with picture frames, like rearranging where they're supposed to hide. Like just like, that's a tiny example. And then, like, when we were extending our house, I had to rethink all the decor of my house. And I kid you not, every evening after work, I'd have my dinner, I'll take out my laptop, open an Excel sheet, and spend hours poring over every detail of what I want to buy, where I want to buy from, the cost. I mean, that gave me pleasure. And I would do so much research, and then I would imagine, like, I have notebooks full of my own drawings of how each room is going to look like and where exactly the things are going to hang. Like every single thing that you see here was actually drawn by me first. And then I tried to match. And then what happens? Like, what you have a vision for in your drawing is not necessarily what you can buy. And so then the vision changes, and then when it actually comes, and then you start hanging it, things change. So there are changes. I can go on, so you can tell it, right? I can spend the rest 1 hour.
I can see your
talking
passion.
about it.
Yeah, so that's
that
true.
is definitely one example, but I will pause because
But it shows, like, the house, it's beautiful, and you have a reason for everything that's in there.
Absolutely.
Not random like me. I like a flower, or I like a vase, and I'll just put it in random places. So yeah, it shows you've put in effort. There are spreadsheets that you've spent, but it has come together very well. So
that makes me happy. How about you, though?
Unfortunately, I don't have anything interesting like you. Like, I wish it was singing, dancing, art, craft, painting, or decorating. Mine is more like creating tools. Like, I'm really into AI product prototyping. So there are a lot of tools that have come out in the last couple of months where if you have like a vision in mind, whether it's an app or a website, you can actually go and make it into a real product. This is something fairly new, and I love doing it, even though it's on the computer and you would think it's work, but for me that is truly just entertainment. I love it so much. I can spend hours just creating something, and there's no deadline, there's no manager over me. It's literally, I'm doing that thing for myself. And the best thing is once you actually build something and you have a vision in your mind, the sense of achievement, and you'll feel that because you drew something and you put things together and you see your vision come to life. that's so empowering. So I do that for hours. There are sometimes I'm up to like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. just trying to perfect something, and that just not good for my sleep, but it gives me so much joy.
Yeah, but that's the spark of creativity.
Yeah, that's true.
Every single person, I truly believe in this, every single person has the spark of creativity. And once you figure out what is it that makes you feel creative, you will be in that flow stage, right? And also, I want to credit you for our website, Chocolate and Spice to Brown Women Talk, because you created it. You completely built it with that AI tool that you mentioned. What's the tool called?
It's Lovable. Yeah.
Lovable, yeah. So, and you did such an amazing job, and it just, and you keep updating it, and it's full of our pictures. And I was like, the point being, I thought like it's so much hard work, and I was always resistant to doing it. And you said, no, you're going to do it, and you did it, and it shows like something that not only sparked your creativity, but something that led to very useful output.
Yeah.
So, yeah, truly appreciate it. All right, I have one question before we go to some more fun questions. What do dates with friends or partner means to you?
It used to be, again, easier before I had my son Vikram, because I could just walk out of the house and go out for dates or meet my friends. But now, again, it goes back to intention. Now I just cannot walk out of the house with my husband, because now I need to make sure the kid is taken care of. So it needs a lot of planning, and I have to find a sitter, and you don't find a sitter in hours notice. You have to plan for it in days. So it's a lot of planning, and now it's like going out. I try to make it an experience, because I cannot do it very often, and I don't want to do it just 1 hour, because there's money involved, and then there is time involved. So I try to make my dates like 3 or 4 hours. So I try to book like a concert, or I go to a jazz club that my husband has recently started liking. So that really helps. And like, I'll give you an example. My husband wanted to go to a baseball game recently, and that is not my thing. But I kept an open mind, and I went, and it was so much fun. So it's being open to experiences, and kind of making time for things that bring you joy. Especially in my case, when I have a young kid, connect with my partner one-on-one. And even if that costs money, I think that I make it a priority.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, in my case, you already know, but I would like to know more about the jazz club later. On how
That's something new, but downtown Austin has a lot of nice jazz
known
clubs.
for music.
So,
so that's amazing. Yeah, for me, we often go out. We have my husband and I have what we call coffee dates. So every weekend we make it a point to go out, and we spend time in one of them. We live in Bay Area, California, which is incredibly beautiful and has all these really beautiful towns and cities. You can just hop in your car and reach another beautiful place or hike. And that's what we do every Saturday, Sunday. We go out, we have some coffee, we eat something, and just spend time with each other and come back. And then we are pretty tired. And sometimes we have a dog, Millie, and we try to find spots where she would enjoy as well. And that's the way we spend time. So that's my favorite way to spend time, to be honest.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All right. Lightning fun.
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it. So we're going to answer these questions really quick. All right, Nidhi. What is your most expensive hobby?
Oh God, I don't know if you want to call it hobby, but I do have a subscription or a membership to a spa. So that's how I said I go to a spa every month, either for a massage or a facial. And the funny thing is that my husband gifted me that subscription. Like, he paid for one of them like a couple of years back, and he still pays for it. It's like he's stuck with it.
Of giving gifts to Nidhi.
I know. So that is an expensive self-care thing that I have. Yeah, you got one?
To an extent, in that, like, I just mentioned about my interest in home decor, and so people often wonder, like, you cannot see it here, but I have strange things at my house that people think strange. I think they're important. One of them is a disco ball. I actually started going to vintage stores and looking for things that I like, and I've always dreamt of having a disco ball. I initially thought I'll have a tiny disco ball, and then I saw this really huge, like a vintage disco ball from 70s, proper mirror disco ball. And even though it was expensive, my husband couldn't make head or tail of it. He's like, what do you really even think you're going to do with it? I said, I don't know. I just want it, and I have a vision it's going to hang from my ceiling. And even while I said it, I felt like a fool. but guess what? I bought it. So the reason I'm mentioning is I will often buy these things which may not make a lot of sense from functionality perspective, but in my mind they are art. And if I could show you, I would show you. It is right now, it has no functionality. It doesn't create light. It just doesn't do anything except hang from my ceiling. I did hang it from my ceiling, and when I got somebody to hang it from my ceiling, even they said, wow, it does look better than I thought it would look. So it gives me pleasure. Every morning I get up, I look at it, and it just like, it makes me so happy, it makes me smile. So those are the places where I like to be able to spend. I have a couple of other chandeliers in my house, which again, you really don't really need chandeliers.
Yeah, but it makes you happy, exactly. As you said, you wake up in the morning, it makes you smile. So worth every penny.
Worth every penny for me. But yeah. All right, second question. What would you pick, a concert or cozy dinner?
Always a concert. I just said like I want to create an experience, because concert is, first of all, you'll be out of the house for 4 hours, so you know you can have concert, like you can have dinner after that. So when I go outside, especially I'm hoping I'll go with my husband, so I'll have like 3 or 4 hours. I'll book a sitter, and just the whole self-love, self-care thing comes into play.
Amazing. You know my answer.
Yeah.
Anytime if I'm in a cozy setting, I prefer it's a cozy dinner. It is for me. And then one last fun question. Do you dance or go dancing to recharge, or fill in the blank?
Fill in the blanks would be going for a nature walk.
But you do like dancing.
Well, sure. I do have 2 left feet, so I don't know about dancing. I mean, I like moving my body.
Right.
So I wouldn't not allow anybody to take a video of me. Or I get very conscious dancing in front of people like you, or people who are very good dancers, because you know, I just, if only anybody could see me dance, they will know what I mean. And thankfully, my kid appreciates it. So I love to have dance party with him. So yeah.
I love your enthusiasm. And you keep claiming that, and therefore you don't dance. You're like, okay, I give up. I'm not gonna try. But I know you have fun. You like to move your body.
I have so much fun, but I'm extremely conscious. Like I'm not conscious about a lot of things, but when it comes to dancing, I don't know why I'm so conscious.
Yes, I don't know why. Yeah, for me, dancing would win easily.
I mean,
it just gives me so much joy. Like you can play the song "You Are My Dancing Queen," and I could just like start moving right off the bat. Like play the right beat, and I would just start moving and swaying. So it makes me happy immediately. Okay, let's see. What is a hobby I have that you would want to start on as well?
I for design. I mean, I don't know if this is a hobby, but like the way you said, you have the vision of how you can make a space your own, or put creativity into it. And I want to build that skill. I know, first of all, you're born with a lot of this, but there is a way to kind of build it. And I've never been able to build that skill. Sometimes I look at space and it's like, oh, I want to make this space so pretty, or make it attractive, or make it my own. But I don't even know where to start. And you're so good at it. You come to my house and you start redecorating my house. But I wish I had that eye for beauty. It's like, I think you have that creativity that I lack.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I don't know if I have it or not, but I'm definitely very interested in it. And I think it's a matter of, like, if you're super interested in something, you start doing it. For me, you do so many things. Like I just mentioned, the fact that you plan things out for yourself. And I know you have tried to influence me a lot by saying, and you're so generous. Like just for everyone's reference, every time I go to her house, she will have a massage, a facial, a haircut booked for me, because she knows I don't do all of that. And then I very luxuriously just go and get all of that done. And ideally that should have inspired me to get it done for myself, but it never does, weirdly enough. But I do appreciate, like when I do that, it recharges me. Mm-hmm. So that's something I would like to start doing for myself. Like really write down, maybe this month I'll get that done, and in my mind I'm doing it. In reality, I'm not. So
you need to share your calendar with me. So maybe But yeah, I know you like it, but somehow you don't have enough conviction to do it yourself.
Perhaps. Yeah. It's easy to forget that we are whole people with passions, creativity, softness, and needs that exist outside our job titles or calendars.
And giving yourself permission to do things just for you, not for productivity, not for achievement, but for joy, is the most radical kind of self-love.
So whether it's a spa day, a solo walk, or just wearing something that makes you feel good, we hope you make space this week to do something that feels deeply yours. And we'd love to hear what fills your cup. DM us, tag us, or just take a moment to reflect. And thanks for listening to Chocolate and Spice, Two Brown Women Talk.
See you next week, and don't forget, your happiness is reason enough.